Success Part 2, and I have a very quick introduction and then I'll reintroduce the title. Daniel will be giving a second segment of his speech, Energy for Success. Today's speech is 10 to 12 minutes of a 20-minute speech. The audience is for entrepreneurs, and the real speech will occur tomorrow night, at Catalyst Ranch in the West Loop at 6:30. To introduce Dan, the Energy for Success Part 2, the Energy for Success Part 2, Daniel.
If you put into practice the next tool I'm going to describe, you can avoid stressing and fretting about your next workout and instead approach it with energy and enthusiasm. And this tool that I'm going to talk about is how to shift your mindset away from seeing fitness as a chore or drudgery and towards something you can actually be excited and motivated about. Now, why is that important? Well, if you think about other chores in your life, you probably don't look forward to them. Think of like having to do laundry or cleaning your home. When you think about those chores that you have that occur regularly, you often will think about it maybe at the beginning of the day and you'll say, oh gosh, I have to clean the house today. Maybe I can postpone it a couple more days. Maybe I can do it the next weekend or something like that. But it's always there in the back of your mind, kind of nagging at you, gnawing at you a little bit. And it's a slow drain on your energy and your mood. And that effect is similar with working out if you feel that way towards it. If you approach it as a chore or something that you just have to get through and get done, it will actually be a bit of a drain on your energy instead of a boost on your energy, which it actually should be. And although I didn't have this problem directly myself with fitness, I did have this chore attitude problem with my own business, specifically with marketing. Now you would think, well, that's strange. Don't you love your business? You created it. It's to make your life better and more exciting. Yes, I love training people. I love helping my clients and getting them more fit. But the marketing side of it, I just didn't have a passion with, and I struggled with that part. So I would do the typical small business owner marketing strategy, I guess you could say, which would be going to networking events, a certain number of networking events each month so I could get a certain number of clients, maybe putting on some online ads to draw business to my business. And it never clicked with me. I never could get excited about it. I think about it, wake up in the morning and say, okay, well, I gotta go to a networking event today. And much like the chores, I would say, well, maybe I can wait till tomorrow. There's another one tomorrow. Maybe I can do it then instead. And this was actually a problem because marketing is the lifeblood to my business and my livelihood and this dream that I created for myself. And yet I couldn't get myself pumped about it. I couldn't get myself really motivated and excited to do it until I came across a video by Brendan Burchard, and you may have heard me reference him before in the past. He is a personal development expert. And the video that I stumbled across was a video on basically disclaiming SMART goals. I don't know if you've ever heard of a SMART goal. Have any of you heard of a SMART goal? Yeah, for those of you who haven't, SMART is an acronym. It stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Very practical, very strategic, very dry, actually, approach to goals. And it's very common in anything that you might use for setting goals. And I realized that my goals with marketing, this chore attitude that is with marketing, were very more on a smart goal type of approach. And he disclaimed that. He said, you know, measuring time and specific quantities for your goals is fine, but you don't want to start there. Where you want to start is something that lights your fire, something that thrills you, something that just turns you on. That there's no joy, or as he said, there's no sexiness in just measuring a goal. That it has to be deep inside you, something that really resonates with you. And that actually got to me. I realized I wasn't doing that with marketing. I was just seeing it as a chore. Got to tick off how many networking events that I went to. And so I sat down and I said, all right, I'm going to use this strategy. And what I realized was that the way I could actually get excited about marketing was through speaking. And that's part of the reason why I'm here tonight. To promote my business through speaking. I realized that I want to reach more people, inspire more people, and get them excited about this message of fitness, about this message of kettlebell training that I do with myself and my clients. And if I got to speak about it and hone that craft, then I could get excited about marketing. And I did. It worked. Every morning every morning when I got up, instead of thinking about marketing as another networking event, I thought of it as honing the craft of speaking and trying to get more opportunities to speak in front of people and tell people this great message I have about kettlebell and strength and fitness. And it worked like a charm. It was like a light switch turning on. And so I want you to think about that for yourself when it comes to fitness and shifting an attitude away from just, I have to get to the gym, or I have to go through this workout and it's a chore and it's drudgery. Instead, set a goal that thrills you first before figuring out how many times each week you're going to go, what fitness method you're going to do. Start with a goal that would thrill you. It's something that would just be, as the phrase he used, dream driven with fitness for yourself. Do that. Start with that. And then when you wake up in the morning and think about whatever fitness goal you have to work towards, it won't be such drudgery. It won't be such a chore for you, like cleaning your house or doing the laundry. And so what I realized with this different approach to goal setting is that if the goal thrills you, it can fuel you. If the goal thrills you, it can fuel you. If you take that mentality towards fitness, I guarantee you will have more energy in your approach to it than if you think of it as a chore like laundry. But in spite of that, even if you set a thrill goal for yourself with fitness, that may not be enough to actually have fitness fuel you with energy. And the reason is because of a common problem that many people, maybe even yourself, have encountered with fitness, which is people train to exhaustion in a given workout or throughout a week. It's a very common mentality now in fitness throughout our culture in America, is that a workout should kick your ass. That's the mentality. And many people have done it. Have any of you ever done a workout that just exhausted you and drained you, at least for a couple of hours, maybe the whole day? Yeah. It's a pretty common approach to fitness. The problem, though, is that you're not getting out of fitness what you want, which is to have it fuel you and give you more energy. If you train to exhaustion, it defeats the entire purpose, or a big purpose of fitness, which is to give you energy. Now, this particular problem, I actually suffered through myself. So, about 3 or 4 years ago, I wasn't doing kettlebell. I was doing regular weight training that you might see in a gym with dumbbells and things like that. Different exercises that are common. And I would train 6 days a week, about 2 hours a day. Because, mind you, it's my career. So I would train frequently and intensely. And I was in good shape. I was in really good shape from that. But the problem was, after each workout, I would collapse on the bed afterwards for about an hour or two, trying to recover from these massive workouts that I did. And I did them both because I appreciated the challenge and liked the challenge, but also because I thought I had to be super fit for my career, right? So even though I did accomplish that goal, my energy was just at the bottom of the barrel. I just could not have any energy throughout the day. And so it was all I could do to just work out and train my clients. I didn't really have any time to grow my business or market or do anything like that. And it was a big problem for me. I didn't know what to do because I felt I had to be in shape, and I thought workouts had to be really tough because that's how you get fit. And I was stuck. So I wasn't sure what to turn to next, but I did discover kettlebell, and I was intrigued by kettlebell. And the person who brought kettlebell to America is a Russian named Pavel. And Pavel looks like Mr. Clean. If you've ever, I don't know, it's maybe dating back into the 80s or 90s now, I don't know. But if you've ever seen Mr. Clean, the cleaner, right? It's the guy's bald head and kind of stands like this. You'll often see, if you see a picture of Pavel, it looks very similar to that. And he has a thick Russian accent. And I'm not going to try to mimic that, but when I bought one of his books on kettlebell, I opened it, and towards the beginning, he stated quite clearly a philosophy towards fitness that was radically different than anything I encountered. It said, a workout should give you more than it takes away from you. A workout should give you more than it takes away from you. From that philosophy, he encouraged a 3-day, just as a general program, a 3-day-a-week program that's split between light, medium, and heavy in terms of intensity. So you have a light day that's kind of like your easy day, a medium day, which is medium, and a heavy day, which is more difficult. 3 days a week, out of that philosophy of a workout should give you more than it takes away from you. And I thought, wow, okay, that's very different than what I'm doing. So basically I'll drop my workouts by about 50%. Hopefully I can still stay fit and achieve what I've achieved thus far. but I wasn't quite sure whether that would actually happen, and I was a little nervous that I would lose a lot of what I had achieved, but I took a stab at it, and I did this program, changed the style too, and did kettlebell now at this point as well. That's also variable. But when I moved towards that regimen and that philosophy of training, my energy skyrocketed about 3 or 4 times the amount. I felt like I had an extra 3 or 4 hours to the day because I wasn't killing myself in the gym anymore. And for many of you who've experienced that feeling, and maybe you've done it even regularly where you feel like this workout has to kick your ass, has to be extremely tough for you to get any benefit, this is a paradigm shift where instead you do not do so much that it's taking away from your day, taking energy away from your day or your week. And there's 2 ways to actually achieve that. One I've already talked about, which is to do a 3-day split of light, medium, heavy in terms of your intensity. And the other thing that you can do is to train to only 70% of your maximum intensity. And you might say, well, what's 70%? How do I measure 70%? Well, you're not going to actually use anything to measure it, nothing scientific. But think of it this way. If you could do 10 push-ups at once, if that's your ability, you would stop at 7 in a given set. And that would be as intense as you would go. And this is an approximation. This can be an average. Say over 3 workouts, you push yourself to about 70%. And this can work whether you're doing weights or whether you're running. If you're a cardio person, it can apply for that as well. So 2 approaches there. One is to vary the intensity of your workouts from light, medium to heavy, and then also to not go past about 70% of your maximum intensity in a given workout. Do that and you will still yield great results. Oh, I think I forgot to mention that not only did I have more energy, but my fitness levels went beyond what I had when I was training 2 hours a day, even though I brought it down to about 50% of my former amount of time. So employ that method of, or that philosophy of a workout should give you more than it takes away. And to recap also from before with respect to fitness, find a goal that thrills you and it will fuel you. Pair those 2 things together and you will get so much more energy out of fitness than how most people are approaching it.